So I'm 59 and I finally have decided to reset my life. It only took 4 times of me falling to get to that point. Maybe I'm a slow learner. Hi, my name is Joyce. Thanks for stopping by. And this is a bit of my story. So the falls have been since February of 2026. That was the first one, walking my dog at 10 o'clock at night. She saw something. It was probably Bigfoot and just charged after it and pulled me down. I should have just let go, but I didn't. And yeah, I had to call my sister and brother-in-law to come help me get up because with no cartilage in my knees and severe pain, I just can't do it on my own. So that was number one. Number two was about a month later. Again, walking Peggy Sue, my dog. This time it was before work. That's the last thing I do before I go to work is take Peggy Sue out, and it was raining buckets. I had an umbrella in one hand and my walker in the other hand, and her in that hand with the walker. Silly thing, I know. And again, Bigfoot ran across the backyard, so she charged after him, and yeah, I didn't let go again, and ended up on the muddy ground, sitting in the rain. And this time I couldn't call on my brother-in-law because he had just had knee replacement surgery, so I had to dial 911 and wait for the firemen to show up. The only good thing I can say is I like firemen. But moving on. So number three, I thought I'd be smart and get myself one of those little electronic scooters so that I can take Peggy Sue out and we can go longer distances and enjoy the walk more. And so, on our very first time, we went out, everything was going great. And then, she did her business in the grass. And so I had my little baggie. I got off the scooter and went over to pick up her number two. And as I turned around to walk over to the trash can, there was a rock sticking up out of the ground, and down I went. And thank God there were two guys there who helped me get up and back on my scooter. And we came home, and I haven't been on that scooter since. So then we come to fall number 4, May. I was on a business trip and staying in a hotel that had the linoleum floors because it was pet friendly, and there was a chair there with wheels, and as I went to sit down, the wheels slid out from under me and I landed again on the ground. So luckily that time I was able to use they had this bench that was bolted to the wall that I was able to use to stabilize myself and get up, but it hurt. So I'm dealing with chronic pain in my knees, which I've dealt with for probably about 8 years. And then my shoulder started hurting me, and I went to get it checked out and found out that not only do I have all the arthritis in there that I've always been dealing with, but now I've got a torn rotator cuff. And yes, I could get the surgery and get the replacement to have it fixed and be out of pain. But what that means is, since I live alone, I'd have to make arrangements for somebody to help me take care of Peggy Sue and myself, because post-surgery I'm not going to be able to move my arm, and it's going to be weeks, and so I'm just putting that off. But yeah, we'll see what comes in the future of that. Stay tuned. So, to the reset. Let me look at my little notes here. I have another video on this channel where I talk about how I felt about getting laid off at 57 and, going through the whole process of trying to find a job at 57 years old and just feeling so totally out of it because I was good at what I was doing, but now the world wants something else. They don't want what I used to do, and that's okay. I did find another job, but I lovingly call working fluorescent purgatory, because I go there because I have to. It feels even though it's a good job, good paycheck, whatever, insurance, I spend most of that's my creative time, and my time when I have the most energy is when I'm sitting under those fluorescent lights and I'm giving that to somebody else. Yes, I'm getting a paycheck in return, but you know what? Just like when I got laid off before, what if this company decides it's going to reorganize or whatever, you know? Uh, it, it, I'm just, I'm too old to go through trying to find another job for the third time. So I have to do something, hence this YouTube channel and some other things that I'm going to be working on, because I like being creative, I like painting, and I like writing. So I'm going to try to use those things to get an income going. I will have a decent, not decent, for Social Security, I'll have a decent check when I finally get there, but I don't think I can wait till I'm 67. I just don't think I could live in fluorescent purgatory for another 8 years. I'm an artist, not a mathematician. Another 8 years. I don't think I could do it. Mentally, I don't think I could do it. It would take too much. So I'm really targeting 62 for retirement, and hopefully between that, my Social Security payment, and anything I can get going here with YouTube and online and with my creative abilities, I hope I could be replace my living or do a little bit better. I'll have to do a little bit better because I need insurance between 62 and 65 before I can get on Medicare. So, but that's my plan. That's what I'm going to work towards. And I'll keep you posted on that. So, what are the things I'm doing for physically to increase my capacity is tracking my food and tracking my steps. And I've actually been working on those two things for a couple of months, and I'm learning some lessons. I got 3 things, and they all have to do with consistency. I have found that the key is a consistent diet, consistent movement, and consistent sleep. So that's what I've been focusing on, and I have lost 9 pounds over the last month or so, which may be not a lot to most people out there in the world, but to me, it's quite the accomplishment. And especially since I haven't gone back to my old ways of eating and regained it. Now, I'm not perfect, and I'm still learning, but it's encouraging that somebody my size and age could lose 9 pounds with walking only an average of 3,000 steps a day. I share a jog, and then I watch my calories and keep them under 2,000. And so, as I go, I will adjust, and as I can move more, I will move more. But this is what I can do right now, and it seems to be helping. Oh, one of the things that, one of the many things that's hard, and we'll talk about a lot of this as the weeks go on, is staying motivated and positive and really motivated. Just keeping my energy going because, like I said, chronic pain, fluorescent purgatory, taking care of Peggy Sue and all of that, it takes a toll on my body because I'm not physically fit. And so I have to use tools to help me, and one of those tools is ChatGPT. And I don't use it as a psychologist or whatever. I use it as a tool to help me fine tune my diet and give some suggestions about where I could, cut out calories or get more protein and things of that nature. I do have family I could talk to now. They don't always understand. Well, they don't understand. They're not obese. They haven't been obese. So they don't understand chronic pain and what it's like to be obese. And actually, nobody could. I've spent my time with psychologists and a psychiatrist. I have the meds, whatever. And that helps. But something about working with Chat GPT has gotten me to actually take action. I don't know what it is. Maybe again we'll talk about that in another video, but that just for some reason it helps me stay motivated. I think one of the things is people still try to talk to me about self-discipline. So, not self-discipline, willpower. And so, they try to say, oh, you just need a little more willpower, just try harder, blah, blah, blah. They don't understand how much that hurts me when they say that. It's not a matter of willpower. If it was, I would have been thin all this time since my 20s. It's a lot of psychological stuff, okay, for me. I'm just talking about my experience. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional, so this is my experience, that it's a deeper psychological and spiritual thing. So not in my reset, I'm not just working on food. I'm working on mental and I'm working on spiritual, reading the Bible every day with the podcast, Read the Bible in a Year. I'm reading the book, A Purpose-Driven Life. I'm constantly reading and investigating and searching, and it's really, really hard because food to me was very much a comfort. It helped me regulate when I become like very anxious or whatever, anxious, sad, distraught. I always turn to food and a lot of food, and changing that is very difficult. But I'm learning to. I'm not perfect at it. I still have days where it's just like, I come home from fluorescent purgatory and I live by myself. I don't want to cook. I especially don't want to dirty dishes and then have to clean the kitchen because it hurts to do that kind of stuff. So DoorDash. But I'm learning to get past it. One thing I'm learning, consistency, but to be consistent, you have to plan and you have to follow through with your plans. So this is taking quite a bit of my energy, this reset program. But I'm not going to give up. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. If it touched you, you'll subscribe and like it. And join me on this journey and let me know how you're doing and how you're dealing with it. And let's be friends. All right, guys. Till next time. Bye.